I'm Katy Redell.
And I'm Jean Sub.
And we are here to bring up the issue of a controversy known as reparative therapy.
Reparative therapy is classified as rules, exercises, and psychological sessions believed to cure a person's homosexual status. These are the opinions of your fellow classmates regarding this issue.
Gay people freak me out.
I think it's something that shouldn't be done. I love the people, but I don't love the thing they're doing. I think God made us to love the other gender, and so I think that's how it should be performed.
Whatever floats your boat, man, or woman.
Even though I may not be gay, even though you may not be gay, it doesn't mean that we should oppose what other people want.
I think that gay people can change their sexual orientation.
Homosexuals are gay.
You love who you love.
I think homosexuality is a choice you make in your life rather than something you're born with.
Shouldn't feel like we need to force our own opinions on them, because it's like, it's not our life. Let's let them live what they want to do, and we can do what we want to do.
I don't care what they do or what they want to do, because it's their right, as long as they don't try and hit on me.
I think it's messed up.
I believe that homosexuality is a genetic predisposition and that nobody can tell you what's right and what's wrong, and that if you are homosexual, it's not something that's wrong with you, it's just who you are and something you can't change.
I hate gay people, but the whole lesbian thing, that's totally okay.
As you can tell, there are a lot of mixed feelings surrounding this issue on homosexuality.
The following signs show the different sides of this controversy. Gay, lesbian, bisexual, and transgender teenagers are 3 times more likely to be bullied in school.
Homosexual teenagers are 4 times more likely to commit suicide. And 30% of teen suicide victims are homosexual.
There are homosexual remarks and slurs made every day, everywhere in schools and communities.
No state shall make or enforce any law which shall abridge the privileges or immunities of citizens of the United States, nor shall any state deprive any person of life, liberty, or property.
The Pledge of Allegiance that is repeated in schools every morning states liberty and justice for all.
In modern-day society, sexual orientation has been known to come between religion and self-distinction.
It is stated in the Bible, "Do not lie with a man as one lies with a woman. That is detestable."
The local ministry is on a mission to turn teens and adults away from the homosexual lifestyle. Reparative therapy is hailed by some as a cure, but it's also considered controversial by gay rights advocates who say it's unethical, dangerous, and destructive.
That I don't support defining marriage as anything but between one man and one woman, and I think through nuances we could go round and round about what that actually means, but I'm being as straight up with Americans as I can in my non-support for anything but a traditional definition of marriage.
Looking at the potential consequence of unhealthy behaviors and addictive behaviors that could bring him to the place of death.
Pastor Philip Lee says he doesn't just preach about being gay, he knows.
I spent 17 years in what many refer to as the gay lifestyle. I found out, like so many others, that to call homosexuality gay really is a contradiction.
Lee is part of a network of ministries across the country that help people transition out of the gay lifestyle and sometimes into straight relationships. Professor Kathleen Ritter helped write the American Psychological Association's guidelines on sexual orientation.
We have the religious people on one end, and the psychologists on the other are the mental health professionals, and we're fighting each other.
His Way Out Ministries offers counseling and support groups through scripture and one-on-one conversations. The pastor says the goal is to fix sexual brokenness.
Basically, we help people look at the issues in their life, just like any therapy would do, the things that they're unhappy about, the things maybe from their past that are unsettled, and we help them walk through that and grow through that. That's what America's all about, is about options and choices and freedom.
The actions being taken by the directors of these programs. For example, there's something which the camp members undergo called touch therapy.
Cohen explains Rob's same-sex attraction as typical of the men he treats. He showed us some of his unconventional techniques like touch therapy, in which he encourages Rob to seek out same-sex mentors to basically recreate a healthy father-son bond.
It's non-sexual. It establishes like parent-child relationship. So he didn't experience this growing up with his dad.
Rob, do you feel a sexual connection right now?
No, I don't. I feel very safe and very comforted, and it just feels wonderful.
What they're doing in these camps is they take people and they force them to have relationships with the opposite sex, although these people still have feelings for the same sex.
Not like most homosexuals I are. Do you know a lot of homosexuals, Dad? Harvey Milk will be stabbed and have a night of horror.
I mean, this Harvey Milk, his message was about giving a face to the people who were hurt in the ballot box when people vote, you know, on things like Prop 8, when they vote for discrimination.
My name is Michael Bussey.
My name is Darlene Bogle.
Morning, I'm Jeremy Marks from London, England. And I want to thank you for this opportunity to tell my story. 30 years ago, I helped create Exodus International. Today, I'm here to apologize.
Imagine, if you can, my shock and horror when I realized in that moment that I was teaching a lie.
Perhaps I should take this opportunity first to make a personal apology, to say how sorry I am and ask forgiveness from all my fellow gay, lesbian, bisexual and transgendered people who might be listening to this for my part in colluding with the religious right in the Western world. Though at the time we did not see it this way, our collusion involved setting up and maintaining an oppressive anti-gay, and I must also say equally anti-Christian view of homosexuality.
There will be absolutely no distinction from a constitutional standpoint or a legal standpoint between a same-sex and a heterosexual couple. That's only fair. It's what the Constitution calls for.
My message was loud and clear. Being gay was a choice, and you can and should change in order to be a Christian.
And do you think you're gay? No, I don't think I'm gay. I did wonder about that. After this crisis, when I went to therapy, I said, I need to know, am I gay? Am I straight? Am I bi? What am I? And my first therapist said, you are a heterosexual with homosexual attachment.
I am guilty of sexual immorality. There's a part of my life that is so repulsive and dark that I've been warring against it all of my adult life.
This church is really literally your community, and your church says you have to leave this state. You have to go away. And in the best New Testament sense, isn't that the point at which the church should be embracing?
Being gay is not a behavior, it's who you are.
Before I met Des, I had considered myself ex-gay because I had ceased sexual activity.
In terms of these ex-gay camps that have risen in popularity, I think they're very harmful and very hurtful, psychologically damaging, and they don't work, quite frankly. I mean, there are folks who say people are born with their sexual orientation, and other folks might choose that later on in their life or realize it later on in their lives. I wouldn't say that a person might be gay, always be gay, if they decide that if they come out as gay or they feel that they're gay at one point in their life, that might not change. It very well might change, but I don't think it's a disease or a problem that needs to be fixed through camps or medication or therapy.
Changing one's sexual orientation may not be possible. You know, it's not simply a switch which you can turn on or off, or something which can be eliminated through personal discipline.
Stephen Fells grew up as a sixth-generation Mormon.
In the Mormon world, homosexuality doesn't exist. And so growing up and having these feelings, this same-sex attraction, I didn't know what that was. I went to this warrior training where I was supposed to beef up my masculinity. They blindfolded all of us, and we could hear all this chanting. It was really loud and intense and scary. So they took our blindfolds off, and there was everyone who had ever taken this course standing around, naked, ready to initiate us into this new fellowship of real men.
42-year-old Peterson spent 17 years and over $30,000 in several different reparative therapies.
It was like being in shrink wrap and not being able to break free. And in essence, they saw someone who was broken and vulnerable, and in trying to help and do good, they actually did much more harm. It was a very controlling environment. There were over 200 rules. Really crazy-making things. We couldn't work in retail. We weren't allowed to go to malls. There was a whole part of town we couldn't go. It was called the Forbidden Zone. They would tell you that your problem is because you're not masculine enough. We often were instructed on how to dress, how to walk, how to sit. So I'd start lowering my voice and, I stopped, doing anything that might be gay. And then we would have fairly regular sports activities, playing basketball, football. We would beat drums, changing oil in the car, thinking that those are masculine butch things.
After countless years and thousands of dollars, both Peterson and Stephen finally realized homosexuality was simply a part of who they are.
Groups like Love in Action, Exodus International, Evergreen International, Courage for Catholics, and NARTH are some of the most popular ex-gay organizations, which mainly are considered evangelically Christian-based.
The problem is really how society has been treating these individuals and their reluctancy to embrace people who are different from them. That's the true problem, and I think the world needs therapy around that issue. More than gay people need to go to these camps.
Because this controversy is unresolved, it is up to you to make the decision. Are we going to accept people for who they are, gay or not gay? Or are we going to have to expect them to change and mold into what society wants them to be?
I am an ally.
Proper nouns like that.
I am an ally.
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 I'm an ally.